All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning business chat. And we do this every Thursday to kind of, continuing education of our LifeWave community. And as we typically do on our Wednesday morning directors mastermind call, we usually come up with a juicy topic for today's call. And the topic we came up with was contacting and inviting. And that's certainly one of the master skills of success. Whether you're inviting somebody to listen to a video, go to the conference, or come to a meeting, or go to a home meeting, or, we are in the event business, and all of those are individual events. Getting somebody to watch a video is an event. Getting somebody to come meet you at a coffee shop, that's an event. Getting somebody to come to a home meeting, that's an event. We have a huge event coming up in like 10 weeks from now, in 70 days from now, and that's our international conference. So we just thought brushing up on our contact and inviting skills would be a good thing. And we're really blessed to have one of my closest friends and fellow networking veterans of over 40 years, SPD Harris Williams, on with us today. And Harris is going to talk a little bit about, this master skill. And he's a master at contacting, inviting people. He's invited thousands of people. It's created millions of people. And so, Harris, I'll turn this next part of the call over to you.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm zooming in from the Braden River today at the River House. And yeah, I was excited to, share some of the things that I've learned, through the years. Gregory and I've traveled the world for 30 years, and we've certainly done a lot of contacting, inviting. And if you really think about it, I think everything starts with that, and it is a master skill. It happens to be a skill that a lot of people have a lot of fear of, because sometimes they associate that with rejection, or someone's not going to agree or want to listen. So I think that's one of the big obstacles people have with, basically the concept of inviting people, contacting, inviting. And, we'll take some questions here too today that you may have. I want to make sure we get the big rocks out of the way. But you're right, there's an impending event that's coming up here in about 2 months in Orlando with our national conference. So certainly that is a major focus that you want to start definitely getting in front of your down team, your leadership, and making sure that you're sharing how important it is from a value proposition for them. I love Ann Moreau, because every time there's an event, whether it's here in the Sarasota area or a national event, Ann is a master of creating value for her team. And, there's two obviously big contacting, inviting formats. One is prospecting. The other one is when you have a team developing, is to make sure that you're in the constant promotion of contacting, inviting them to the events. We have weekly events with certainly our community here with Live Younger, but the big one that's coming up, people need a little bit more notification. They need to plan around it. They want to get their flights, and they want to make sure they get their hotel reservations while they can. So starting now is a great time to build the value proposition of why should I spend my money? Why should I invest my time? Why should I go through the stresses of travel? All the things people think about when they think about having to go potentially to Orlando or wherever an event may be. So that being said, I think that when I was talking to Ann yesterday, Ann's already rented a big house. It could hold up to 20 people, Airbnb. And she has got, I believe, 3 spots left. I'm going to take one of them if somebody else doesn't take it. But she makes it fun. She makes it all about the community, all about the team, all about the experience of what you're going to get. It's going to be a life-changing event. It's going to take it from your head to your heart. You're going to feel the community, the love, and you're going to get all this amazing information and meet a lot of new people that are excited about LifeWave and this incredible technology we have with X39 and the other patches. So, she's talking about the why you should be there, not the how to get there. And I think that the why is always the most important part. And that's really what you should be focusing on, is people's why. You got to figure out, what would motivate them. I mean, I'm an example of I'm a pretty much a yellow, red in the color code. I'm more motivated by the experience and the fun and all the things that are going to be going on at the event, meeting new people. Some people are just going there to find out how to make more money, or they just want to be part of the community, and they really are interested in, creating deeper relationships. So when you're really out there talking to your team, or you're sharing why you should be at the event, you've got to make sure that the value proposition overcomes the financial and the time factors. And to do that, you got to strongly believe in that. And, people hear how you feel about something versus just by saying it. So I do believe that, how you're packaging and sharing the value of why you want to be, your date with destiny potentially is going to be in a couple months. And one thing we have found out, more from a logistics standpoint, that people that have one or two people there are going to, be glad they did. Okay, that one or two of their team there, and there's a very good chance that's going to create a rank advancement if that's something that's important to them. If they have 5 to 10 people there, they're going to see potentially a major jump in volume and rank advancements. Could be multiple rank advancements. If you have a team of 20 or more there, look out, because now you're taking 20 people that came to this event. They see the big picture, that's taken from their head to their heart. They really understand what they have. And now when they're sharing the value, they're going to do it really with passion, and they're going to do it with purpose. So there's a lot of reasons that we could talk about today on, how to share, or how to promote, or how to contact and invite people to be there. But it always is going to come back to getting to know them more. And, and that's one reason doing planning sessions with your team, finding out really why they're doing, LifeWave, what is it they're really passionate about, and then utilizing the value of what they've shared with you that they're going to receive when they go, when they come to Orlando and they meet all of us here in a few months. So that would be an event that I would highly encourage you to utilize. If you feel like your belief system isn't there yet, the beauty of having a leadership team like you have here, on the Zoom today, is that you can borrow my belief system. You can borrow Gregory and Robin's. You can borrow Connie's. You can borrow Ann's. You can borrow Janet's. You can borrow theirs if you need to do a 3-way or a Zoom. So sometimes, it's not quite there yet. Face it. I mean, it's one of the biggest fears in anything is basically putting yourself out there. And until you have that confidence, I do encourage you to utilize basically your up team and have them help you with people that are just maybe on the tipping point of going. So that would be one example, Gregory, and we can take just a second to breathe and ask some questions about that, because it is the biggest impending event we have. And the sooner you get to your team, the sooner they're going to get to their team in your team, and also potentially bring on some new, partners, some brand partners who will be there with them. Because that's the other mindset, is if you haven't built a big team yet, this is the time to get some new brand partners started. This is the time to put that in your planning session, get a commitment from them to be in Orlando. Because I can promise you this, it will increase your business, sometimes double your business, if you get enough of the right people there that are motivated and excited. Gregory, you might be muted. I'm not hearing you.
Yeah. Okay. It reminds me of one of our favorite old sayings: never miss a meeting, never go alone.
Yeah, that's right. Because I promise you, when you're there, you're going to look around and you're going to wish you had 5, 10 times the people there, and you're going to be kicking yourself, saying, golly, I just wish Gregory was here with me. I wish, Janet was sitting next to me right now. If they felt this energy, wow, it would take them, they wouldn't need a jet to get home. So that is really what you've got to really get your mind, is that it's kind of like the old gold mine story, Gregory, and, I live up in the gold mining area of Golden, Colorado, and you almost need to have that mindset that you've got this gold mine of health and wealth and purpose. and you're holding it and there's unlimited gold, you need people to help you dig it. And so with that mindset, if you really have that gold mine of opportunity that has the health, wealth, purpose piece, how many people would you talk to? How strongly would you promote it? And let me ask you this, if someone started kind of like, like kind of, well, I'm not sure I want to be there, they give you all their excuses, what are you going to do about that, right? You're going to certainly encourage them, but if they don't, you're going to get on with somebody who's excited about helping you be part of digging that gold, which we all have, that promotes health, wealth, and purpose. So I think that the posture, it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say, it's how excited you are, and you're focused on what you know is going to motivate them, whether it's the community, whether it's the money, whether it's hearing from David Schmidt and all these amazing things he's going to be certainly announcing at the event. Whatever that is, you definitely want to focus on their why. They should be there. And I found when you do that, you'll be surprised how you can move people. I know when Ann said to me, I've only got 3 spaces left in this unbelievable house. We got this, this Airbnb. We're going to have parties. We're going to be doing things together. See, that's a great example. And the reason Ann, who's way up in Maine, has built this amazing business and loyal and just has his family is because he's created that kind of a community-driven business and lifestyle together. And let me share something with you. Not many people have that in their life right now. They're lonely. A lot of them are depressed. A lot of them had not been out of their comfort zone in a long time, especially after COVID. They haven't maybe left their house. And so this is a time where people are finally ready to come out. And this would be a great coming out party, Gregory. I think you would agree, to make sure you get that commitment sooner than later.
I'd like to invite, I think it was Janet's idea yesterday that we could talk about contacting, inviting today. And she's a master at it, presidential director, fast tracking on the way to senior presidential. Janet, what would you like to share on this important topic or questions for Harris?
Well, thank you, Robin, and hello, everybody. And also, Harris, thank you for being on today. Harris said many, many things in there, all of them perfectly true across a whole range of why invite. But Harris said something probably a year ago on one of these calls that just changed the trajectory for me. And Harris, you talked about that literally we have the fountain of youth and we're sitting on a gold mine. And that so changed how I looked at this business, that if I'm not sharing this holy grail of healing, shame on me. Honestly, shame on me. That why am I sitting back worrying about me when I could have somebody come out of pain? Just yesterday, I had a woman text me that's been in massive pain on tramadol, which I'm not a drug person. I looked it up. I was like, oh my gosh, what this drug does. And she goes, Ice Wave got me out of pain. So number one, it's my obligation to share it. Secondly, that the company wants to pay us to do this. Great. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Love it. But the point is, it doesn't help if I don't get out and share the word, but I'm just one person. You're just one person. The big events change lives. Big things happen at big events. And if you're not going and you want to build your business, let's figure out how you can go. You have, what'd you say, Gregory, 10 weeks? What do we got?
Yeah.
Okay. If you get out and you put in 2 gold memberships, that's $200. If you're looking at this is a tough, I just have the funds, well, then let's share it with more people. The commission is there, right? You could easily have the money for this. Secondly, Harris is so good about promoting and getting you fired up to invite. Some of us need the how. I'm kind of like, okay, I need the what and the why, but give me the how. So one of the things I brought to my team is an Eric Worre video. You can go on YouTube. And Eric Worre is Worre. And the video is called The Fundamentals of Inviting. And so a couple weeks ago, I had a team meeting and we just said, let's watch Eric. He gives you the A, B, C, D, E, F of how you invite. And he, like Harris, Eric says, let's get emotional. Let's paint the picture. You're going to walk in those doors. You can't believe the feeling when you get on stage and people are clapping for you and yelling for you. And you're so excited. And you see Gregory and Robin out there going, woo-hoo! And you got to build it for people that way. So I would say follow what Harris is saying and give your team a challenge. How many people are you bringing to convention? Because it's the big deal. Yes, you're going to invite them this week to watch a video. Absolutely. And then your next thing is Harris would say, what's your next event? The next event is let's look at convention. So thank you, everyone.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you, Janet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
So-
is anyone, if you have a question for Janet or Harris, if you want to just go ahead and raise your hand. We do have some time for some Q&A, and we definitely want to help everybody sharpen their contacting and inviting skills. We got everybody spellbound. No one has a question. Oh, there we
But
go.
you know
Carl, I
what?
knew
I'll
we could
give you-
I
I'll
knew
give
we,
you a validation.
okay, go for it.
So 2 conventions since I've joined the company. And the first one, what I very shortly after went presidential because of the people I brought to the event and the people they brought to the event. The second convention, not long after, SPD. The momentum in my company or the momentum in my organization always came after that event because it solidified the belief in everybody that attended and the excitement and the energy to move forward. So there's your validation.
That's awesome. Thank you, Connie. Hey, Carl, good morning.
Good morning to all of you. I can't tell you how much I'm learning here just in 17 minutes? Amazing. You guys, starting with Harris and going to Janet, Connie, of course, Gregory and Robin. I'm less than 2 years in direct sales, but I have been in sales and there's so much to learn about what we do. And this is a healthy community. I want to share something about the invite and I want to relativize it to the Canadian Roadshow that's coming. It's a unique opportunity. And someone shared with me, and you all know him, Kai Jacobson, words of wisdom from that man. He's a fountain of wisdom. He said something very practical. He said, when inviting someone to a group, to an event like that, take the initiative to try to pick them up where possible, because inviting someone is one thing. And I liken that to my faith. I might invite someone to my church. I will stand at the front door and wait for them to ensure that they are seated with someone, that they're greeted. But inviting someone and picking them up, and in particular, these local events that are being hosted by LifeWave are a fantastic opportunity. So, you know, sometimes the main things are the plain things, and the plain things are the main things, because you can simply invite. But what about the initiative to pick them up and bring them to that event? So in terms of what we're doing in Canada, and of course, the Orlando event, yes, I have invited some of my group, they're coming. And I think it's going to be a major fire up event. You're going to go home buzzed. You're going to be absolutely on the highest frequency you probably ever have been, because I went there in 21 as a complete newbie. And I came home and said, wow, I found a community. I have found something that I can throw myself into. This is a healthy community, and pardon the pun, but we are healthy in the way that we approach people with a compassionate heart. Develop a compassionate heart for people, as Janet said a minute ago, and share what we have. Fantastic. Thanks for allowing me to share.
That's awesome,
Oh,
Carl.
thank you so much, Carl. You know, and I just want to put in a little pitch for the upcoming event in 2 weeks. We're going to, Robin and I and a number of other SPDs, Connie and others, are going to be in Costa Mesa, California. And some of you in Southern California, who can you put in your car and bring to that event? There's still room, and it's a free event. I mean, the upline leaders are hosting the event at the Costa Mesa College, and we got room for 700-800 people. There's still plenty of seats left. So that's the next big impending event, then leading up to the events in Canada during September, and in October, our national convention. So Liz, you got your hand up. Go ahead, please.
I do. One of the things that I have learned over the years is that if you can find out what their hang up or what their blockage is, like, well, I don't know if I can really attend or do that. If you come back with the statement, if that were not an issue, would you be able to da, 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 da? And then if there's anything else, if that were not an issue, again. And so then you follow up with, once they say, yeah, I could do that. Well, let's find a solution, or I have a solution for that.
That's
That's
great.
great.
Yeah,
Hi,
Gregory,
Harris.
yeah, Gregory. There's one other, this is something I see Dr. Tom do very well is, for all of you that made the commitment to be in Orlando, which I'm sure everybody on this Zoom has done that, you've got this opportunity, Orlando and the greater Orlando area is probably one of the best areas on the planet to connect with people right now. So one of the things I always do before an event, even though I know this is, basically specifically for, Lifeway brand partners, it's also right now is the time to ask everybody who do you know in Orlando? Who do you know in the greater Orlando area, Tampa area, the Daytona area, within an hour or so of Orlando, and start working with them now, because a lot of those people will actually, believe it or not, if you contact and invite them correctly, finding out again. And the one thing I would like to say is that the big difference between relationship marketing and direct sales is that it's the relationship that counts. Okay, direct sales, it's about the sales. You make a sale, then you want to make another sale. This is about building relationships. So this is a great time to let people know that or people in your down team knows in Orlando, and start getting the information to them on why they may want to consider to try the products, look at our business, and let them know, hey, I'd love to meet you while I'm in Orlando. We can meet. Matter of fact, we can meet at the hotel. You've seen me do that, Gregory, bring prospects to the hotel and meet them in between the meetings or in the evening or in the lobby, where they can feel the energy and are like, wow, I want to know what these people are on. I want some of it. So that is something that's a lost art, is that people have a tendency to think, well, I'm just going to go to Orlando and my team will be there. Well, you could create a whole new business in the greater Orlando, Florida area if you start doing it now. And so I highly encourage you to do that, because there's nothing better than to know you've got 2 or 3 new, partners in Orlando now, and they're going to be there. And now you're working with who they know in the Orlando area. And who knows, you might have 10 new people going to the event, to the national event, all because you asked everybody who they know, who do they know, who do they know. Taproot through your whole organization and then start focusing on that.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful final comments. And, I don't see any more hands up. And so, Harris, I just want to thank you very much for sharing how many years of experiential wisdom do you have? Since I know it's over 40.
I was a boat captain and a fishing guide. Started at 9 years old. So I started teaching people how to fish. And then I started teaching them how to fish for their life. So it's been about 50 years, but 40 years of actual relationship marketing.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Okay, well,
I'd like to
Robin,
say a
there
word.
she goes. Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
thank you, Harris. Thank you, Janet. I love it. I love it. And thank you, Gregory, always. And Harris, you just said something that reminded me of something. When I brought a guest to an event many years ago, what they said to me was, I've never been in a room with so many healthy people in my life. And that's what we have when people, like you said, when you bring a guest to
Yep.
the energy of what we have, it's visceral. I mean, words cannot express what words cannot express. It is a feeling. And when you're in this group of thousands of healthy, vibrantly healthy people, it does something to you. And so that's another gift we get to share with people when you bring them to the event. Is it's rare in our world these days to be around a large group of people where everyone is so vibrantly healthy. So that's another gift.
No doubt about it. Well said.
Okay, well, this brings our call to a close. Thanks, everyone, for being on board. If you'd like to unmute and say farewell, now's a good time to do that.
See you in Orlando.
You got
See
it.
you in Orlando.
See you in Orlando.
You in
With your friends.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harris.
Thank
Learned
you,
a ton
Connie.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
very much.
See you in Orlando.
Thanks, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, beautiful day.
I-
See you in Orlando. I'll see some of you in
Orlando.
Costa Mesa.
See you in Orlando.
Oh.